Good morning, student. Here we are discussing fourth chapter of history, colonialism and the Marathas. Okay, so in the last lecture we have seen Europeans now they had entered in India. They conquered almost part of India and they started to rule on India. Their main aim was trading, but afterwards they turned from trading to ruling. Now in this lesson we are going to talk about the Maratha Empire and how they opposed Europeans, not only Europeans as well as Siddhi, Afghans, Mughals. In the last lecture we discussed Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. He had foreseen the ulterior motives of these Europeans and their waves of infiltration. So what he did, he built up the strategies to erase their advances in India, and for that sake he built a strong naval force and constructed a sea force. Not only Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, but Sambhaji Maharaj also fiercely fought with the Portuguese. Chimaji Appa, who was brother of the Bajirao Peshwa I, he defeated the Portuguese. After that, we discuss about the colonialism versus the Maratha Empire. In that, we had seen what is mean by Firangi. And Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, he first came in contact with Portuguese when he established his control over the Kalyan and Bhiwandi. In 1665, the Portuguese they waylaid the 13 ships of Marathas, but after some time they released those ships as they were scared about the powerful Maratha navy. And we had also seen Portuguese, they supplied the ammunitions to Adil Shahi. They helped Britishers also. Okay, now next to that, now the Portuguese they established factories at Dabhol, and for this they got the permission from Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Now here at the same time the local people of the Bardesh they were unhappy because of the Portuguese, because of the Portuguese laws which were favorable for the religious conversion, and the local people they didn't want to convert their religion, so that's why those people they were unhappy. Now in 1667 Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj he decided to attack on Bardesh, and when he attacked, so that time the people from the Bardesh he welcomed Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj wholeheartedly, because there was the hope, there was a ray of hope that the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj he was only the person who could release them from the Portuguese ruling. Again, when the region of Dandarajpuri under the Siddhi rule was under Maratha siege, the Portuguese supplied war provisions and the ammunitions to Siddhis. During the Adil Shahi Sultanate versus Maratha conflict, the Portuguese, while acting neutral, were surreptitiously helping Adil Shah. Surreptitiously means secretly. So when there was the conflict between the Adil Shahi Sultanate and Maratha, that time also the Portuguese, they were helping Adil Shah secretly. Gonçalo Marques, the Portuguese emissary, had met Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, and both they agreed to avoid any future conflict between them. So here Gonzalo Marques, he didn't want any conflict between Portuguese and Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, so that's why they did agreement to avoid any future conflict. Okay, so but here the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, he decided with an intention of uprooting the Portuguese rule. He wanted to uproot the Portuguese from India, and that's why what he did, he started sending the small groups of his men to Goa. First he wanted to free Goa part from the Portuguese, and that's why what he did, he used one strategy. So he started to send small group of the people to Goa, and he decided once their number was enough in Goa, so they should strike a revolt against the Portuguese rule. But the Portuguese viceroy, somehow he became aware of the plan of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, and that's why what happened, the plan got failed. Now next, a treaty was signed between the Portuguese and the Marathas on 10 February 1670. In that treaty, some conditions were agreed. The conditions were like, if either of them, means from the Portuguese or from the Marathas, they plundered the other ships, means they took the other ships, so that time then the victim party should be properly compensated. Compensated means they had to give money to the victim person. So what was the agreement, that from both of them, if anybody is going to plunder the other ship, so that time in that case the victim party should be properly compensated. All those concessions given to the Mughals, ships in transit should also be given to the Maratha ships, means whatever the concession was given by Portuguese to the Mughal, they had to give the same concession to Maratha ships also, and they are not going to help, means the Portuguese, they are not going to help the Siddhis against the Marathas, and they are not going to build the forts in the territory of Ramnagar. So these were the agreement. Okay, but the one thing was there, and that was the Chauthai, and because of the Chauthai issue, there was a dispute about this issue of collecting Chauthai between the Portuguese and the Marathas, which remained unsolved till the end. Now what is this Chauthai? Chauthai is a type of the revenue collected from the external territories protected by the Maratha rulers. It used to be 1/4 of the total income of the taxpayer. So in this Chauthai, the Portuguese, they forced local people to pay them tax revenue which was collected from the external territories. So they had to pay this money to the Portuguese, and that's why Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, he opposed Chauthai, and that was one of the reason which remain unsolved till the end. And to resolve this issue, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj had appointed two lawyers, Pitambar Shenavi and Jivaji Shenavi. However, both of they were not successful in their negotiation. In 1679, Portuguese secretly they helped Britishers in their conflict with the Marathas for the Andheri Island. Now here we can see that Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, he had determined to humble with the Portuguese always. And why he was humbled with the Portuguese, there are so many reasons. The reasons are like the Portuguese, they opposing the construction work by the Marathas in Chaul. They were forcing their subjects in Goa for the religious conversion, and pillaging of the trading ships. So for all this reason, always there were the conflict between the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj and the Portuguese, and he had to be remain humble with the Portuguese, because the Portuguese, they were always opposed to construction work by the Marathas in Saul, as well as they were robbing the ships, robbing the trading ships, and always they forced the religious conversion, the people who used to live in Goa. The Marathas defeated the Portuguese during the siege of Ponda Fort. Fonda Fort formed part of the, it was the fort form part of Novas of Portuguese India. It was ruled by the Rajas under the Vijayanagar Empire and the Bijapur Sultanate. In the 16th century, due to the absence of the Portuguese, Ponda was a safe haven for Hindus fleeing persecution by the Portuguese. In 1675, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj seized Ponda from the Bijapur Sultanate. It remained part of the Maratha Empire until 1764. Under Chhatrapati Shivaji, Sondekar Raja was the vassals of Ponda Fort. Now student, here mostly we are talking about the Goa. Actually the Marathas, they were never interested in possessing Goa, although they were certainly interested in checking the growth of the Portuguese, and often collaborated with allies to achieve this objective. They were also more interested in obtaining revenue such as the Chauth and the Sardeshmukh from captured territories rather than staying back and administering them, because this revenue helped finance the constant military campaigns undertaken by the Marathas in central and the northern India. It is well known that the Marathas maintained their focus on actively fighting battle on several fronts against their arch enemies such as Mughals, the Nizams, and the later Hyder in the Deccan. The religious intolerance stemming from the infamous Portuguese inquisitions between the 16th and 18th century had made the Portuguese unpopular rulers within their territories and among the Marathas. Ironically, the Portuguese targeted their subject for conversion selectively. It was easier for them to convert the underprivileged classes among the Hindus. They were careful not to touch the influential Saraswat Brahmins and allowed them religious freedom. This explains why the famous temple such as the Shantadurga of Kavlem was left undisturbed after it was built during Reign of Shahu. Although the Portuguese had razed smaller Hindu shrines to the ground in other parts of Goa, Sawantwadi acted as a buffer state between the Portuguese and the Maratha Chhatrapati of Satara and Kolhapur, Tarabai and the Angrez who commanded the Maratha navy. The Portuguese cunningly encouraged the rulers of Sawantwadi to fight against the Marathas, even supplying them with the ammunition rather than the risk an open confrontation with the latter. In return, the Savant reported back the activities of the Marathas. The Portuguese continued to help and exploit to their own benefit anyone who resisted the Marathas. They always had spies in the Peshwa's court who reported back with information. Student, here you can see that the Portuguese, they felt panic because of the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj when their governor of the Portuguese, he said Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj was no doubt a mighty warrior, but his strategies against the enemy during the peaceful times were much more daunting. Daunting means difficult to handle. Now his death has relieved the Portuguese authorities from his terror. So when one of the governor of the Portuguese, he said about the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj that he was the great warrior, not only this but his strategies against the enemy during the peaceful times, it were much more daunting means difficult to handle for the Portuguese. So that time the Portuguese especially, they became panic, they felt panic for the Shivaji Maharaj. The Portuguese and Aurangzeb, now they were united because they had to fought against Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj. Therefore, the Marathas decided to act against the Portuguese. Hence, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj attacked Revdanta. The Portuguese reacted to this attack by putting the fort under siege. But one more time, Maratha army, they were successfully broke through the siege and attacked Goa. Esaji Kankar, the chief of Maratha infantry and very close associate of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, fought with the great strength, great power. The Portuguese governor was injured on the battlefield. He had to beat a retreat. Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj, he chased the Portuguese army which got trapped in deadlock. However, the news of the Mughals' attack on the South Konkan, which was received in Maratha camp, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj and his army, they were on the verge of conquering Goa, but they had to leave halfway and rush to fight the Mughals. Okay, so till here we have seen. Now next part of the Maratha Empire. Tomorrow we are going to continue, students. If you have any difficulty, any doubt, so you can drop it in the comment box. Thank you.